Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, 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 everybody. Come on in. Let me get this coconut oil so we can get us a day started. Yes, yes, feels good to the skin. At any rate, welcome everybody to come on in the den. I am your host, Kitty Lane, the baby boomer, all the way from that easternmost peninsula in Virginia. Hey, sis, how are you? So happy to have you here. I'm going to try not to touch the screen today so I don't mess anything up and I can at least see your comment. I'll see the comments pop up here, but I have to read them from the TV. And whatever I did before when I touched the screen, I couldn't even see the comments pop up. And I only know they're on the screen when they pop up here on the phone. So we're going to try not to touch the screen today. So, how is everyone? I hope that everyone has enjoyed the first 3 days of 2026. I hope you've not overloaded yourself with things to do. One of the things, the goals that I set for myself this year is to keep it simple, keep it smart, and keep it simple. And I made out a list of crochet accomplishments for the year. I know to some people, the list seems extensive. When I told my daughter the number, she was like, no, ma'am. And when she looked at the list, she was like, oh, that's doable. Okay. And I have a list of 300 items. And those 300 items minus 5 are in this cute little bucket that I made for myself. This is my bucket of random items. Hey, baby, how are you? And sis, I'm going to do everything I can to keep it simple this year because the way I have stressed out between last night and this morning, which brings me to sinking for today. Y'all, I went to bed last night and woke up this morning with my mood level at about a 7. Health level is at about a 9. So I guess they kind of average out so that it'll be an 8. I do have a lot on my mind. So before we get into anything else, I'm going to go ahead and talk about this and get it out of the way before we have others that come in, and I don't want to run anybody away. Y'all, all of my adult life, I have struggled. I can say that with a smile because I don't struggle like I used to struggle. When I was in my early to mid 20s, struggling resembled paying 5 bills out of $20 a month, trying to turn that $20 into enough to pay an electric bill, a gas bill, a cable bill, a phone bill, and a water bill. Why a cable bill? Because at that time, where my kids went to school, a lot of their homework was on cable channels. And the way they saw it at the school, cable was only $14.99 a month. Who couldn't afford cable? Well, when you pay your rent and all you have left after rent is $20 to last over the month, $20, period. And that's just rent. That's to say nothing about clothing and travel expenses and, all the other things that people don't think about. So even though we don't struggle like that anymore, it's still a struggle from month to month. We close out every month. At least we're not in the negative, but we don't see anything more. We don't even see $1 overage at the end of the month, but we're not in the negative. So it's not like we have to crawl to get. So, but when I say I'm struggling, what I want is to not have to rely on certain services like to pay our rent. We're on this service called Flex. Flex allows us to pay 2/3 of our rent the first half of the month and the other third the second half of the month. And it's a small fee involved, so we have to pay that fee. What I want is when the first of the month rolls around, what I really want, I want my rent paid up 3 months in advance. I want to have a credit on my water bill, on my electric bill. That's how I want to be comfortable. That's where I want to be. And that would bring me less stress. Okay, so now we got to talk about it out of the way because we're not going to stay there. I'm determined. I woke up this morning at 7. There is only one way to go from here, and that's up. And I'm determined to stay at a 7 and not rise. Like I said, my health meter is at a 9, so we're good. Let's talk about the sips before we get back into this bucket. This morning, I know you saw the thumbnail. I know y'all saw the thumbnail, but that is not what I'm sipping on this morning. I am sipping on a Dr. Pepper. I am. I'm sipping on Dr. Pepper, and I have my bottle of water. I've already taken my medication, and the kids and I have had breakfast. So we're good as far as that's concerned. Now let's get back to this handy dandy basket that has 295 projects in it. This is for the year. 295 sounds like a big number, but you all take into consideration that I think 45 of those are scrunchies. See how quick that number dropped? And then another 25 is like washcloths. And then I got like hats and beanies and headbands, cowls, snoods, scooties, scarves, and then the big projects, the blankets. I think they only account for, what were the blankets? I think it was only like, wow, what was it? Let's see, 26 and 12 is 38. 39. It was 40 blankets. So it's not that bad. When you look at it, that number sounds like a lot. I did not get my grandson's sweater done. I'm kind of squirrely as far as that's concerned right now. And he's on grandma's naughty list right now. So, but we do have the yarn right over here on the bed to complete it. But he has to stay on grandma. He has to get on grandma's good list. But let me tell you how this is working. What I did yesterday, I reached into this little pouch and I took out 2 of the little tabs and they said scrunchies. Both of them said scrunchies. So yesterday, I made the 2 scrunchies. So after making the first scrunchie, I went in and pulled out another tab, and that tab said market bag. So I started on a small market bag. Okay. No, it's not finished, but it's getting there. So, oh, sis, you just don't know. I reached back into it. I finished the other scrunchie and reached back into it and pulled out the weekly blanket. So I have actually started on the weekly blanket. And for some reason, I reached in and got another one because I have Snoot on the list. I forgot this was one of the things that I pulled. That's why I pulled another one. So the goal of it is that I can't have more than 4 whips at a time, so that I don't overwhelm myself. So I want to recycle these. As I'm going through these, it's only 3 of these that can be out at a time, and whatever the pre-existing whip was. The pre-existing whip for today is my grandson's sweater. So that is on the list for the pre-existing whip. The market bag has to be completed, which I am working on the strap. The bag itself is done. It's a small market bag, and I'm working on the strap. And you saw that I got the scrunchies done and I got my little bag done. So far for 2026, I have 3 completed items. I am currently working on one. This is my weekly blanket. This is one panel of the weekly blanket. These are old squares that I had laying around, and I decided to pick them up. They were sitting in a container right here beside the bed. I picked them up and started putting them together. So what I do, I take the 4 and put them together, and then I border those 4. I got my grandkids to pick out a color. My grandson picked out gold, so I'm bordering them in gold. This is Natura. I don't know why I'm thinking this is saying Wintuck. I think it's Wintuck, y'all. I know it's older than I am. But the color is actually medium gold. It has a dialect that tells you pretty much how old it is. Wintuck quality, I believe it says Wintuck, I'm not sure. 4 worsted weight acrylic. Machine washable and dryable, moth proof, non-allergenic. Just trying to see everything it says. But medium gold is what I'm using to border each panel. And then my grandson also chose this caramel, Big Twist caramel. Of course, we know it's 4 worsted weight, and it is 100% acrylic. This calls for an H 5mm hook, which I am actually using a 5.5. I do love my grandson. I love my granddaughter, but I cannot reward them for bad behavior. I can't. And when they feel like they can argue with adults, that is bad behavior. And they can't get the little special treats and stuff that they do usually get. So we are well on our way with our list of things to get done. For what I foresee for today, I see this being completed, at least the gold and the caramel being added. I'm thinking there's going to be another color. So these are the first 4 squares. These are the next 4. And these are the last 4. It's only 12 squares. It's going to be a small blanket. I'm thinking that my weekly blankets are going to be more like throws and car seat blankets. I plan on getting out of the house more this year. And I live in a military area. Military area means lots of babies. So the car seat blankets would be perfect. So yes, that's one of the plans that I have for this year. When I pull my 2 tabs from here, like my next tab would be, for instance, I'm just going back in the bag, just so you know, a snood. And I would take that tab and put it into this jar. But also, because I want to be able to look at it real quick and see where I am, I'm also putting them on my list. And I'll write down on the list what I have to do. And as I get it done, I will, of course, mark them off. So I have 3 things done so far this year. Still got the market bag. I have not started on the snood. I pulled that last night. So I haven't started on that. I do plan to finish the market bag and the blanket today. Don't know about the sweater. It may or may not get completed today, but it will get worked on. Y'all know that I have an aversion to sleeves. And I'm at the top part of the sleeves. And every ounce of me is saying, just make it a vest. Just make it a vest. You won't mess it up if you just make it a vest. But I have to get over that fear, and I have to do this. So that's what we'll be working on today. As for the week, Um, I have notes, guys. One thing I want to show you to go backwards when we were talking about syncing. I don't know how many of you are doing this, but I am keeping up my journal. I am keeping up my journal. It surprised me because yesterday on my contact list, I had 3 people instead of the 2. I had a missed call. If you remember when we did our live on Thursday, I had a phone call to come through that I couldn't answer. So I needed to call back and see who that was. I did that yesterday. Spam. Was able to block it. And my aunt and my best friend, I did not reach out to my aunt, so I do have her on the list for today. But I was able to put 2 new people on the list to reach out to today. I have my mood meter. I have my mood meter and my health meter, all of that. I've got that recorded. My daily tasks, I have them there. I made sure everything was light today. I got laundry, check with Chat GBT on a dream meaning, and my live. And I'm doing my live. I'm doing my live. Sis, the reason I don't have to put you on the list is because what the people that I'm putting on this list are people that I don't generally talk to. No, I don't generally talk to my aunt. I don't generally talk to my friend Muriel. These are people that, like my aunt, will go months without talking. Muriel and I, kind of the same. It's not good, but I get in my ways sometimes. And my ways tell me that I shouldn't be the only one bruising my fingertip. I get kind of selfish with that sometimes. So then I have to come out of that and tell myself, you know what? If I want to know how they're doing, then I'm gonna have to reach out more. Because obviously they don't know how to get in touch with me. And then I flip back the other way, and I'm like, well, if they were really interested and if they really wanted to know, they would call me. And then I go back to, well, who's got to be the bigger person here? Yeah, I do want to do the journal, but I haven't started it yet. BB, you can start anytime. You can start anytime. I mean, if you have just pieces of paper laying around, all you want to do is do what I call a mood meter. Set you up a mood meter and a health meter. And what I did, mine was from 0 to 10. And like my mood meter, a 0 is checked all the way out. I'm just not having it. My number 1 is antisocial but salvageable. Number 2 is quiet, barely approachable. Number 3 is sparsity in audio, means I'm really not talking that much. I will if I have to, but I'm not. Number 4 is spacey. Number 5 is anxious, pleasant, but can be snappy. 6 is barely smiling. 7 is 4 smiles, overthinking. 7 is regular. 8 is regular. 9 is a little more than regular, and 10 is happy. So however you want, I'm very selfish with that because if they don't call me, see, that's where we have to get outside of ourselves. That's why I have those discussions with myself, BB, because I don't want at 62. Wait a minute, sis. I'm gonna get back to the crabby. But BB, if I want to remain the bigger person, and at 62, I don't want to have that teenage argument. I didn't call you because you didn't call me. Well, I didn't call you because you didn't call me. Well, if you wanted to talk to me, you'd have picked up the phone. Same here. Well, I don't want to have that discussion with another grown person. I just don't. I call that kind of discussion with that kind of person a gap, a grown person. Okay. And I don't want to have those kind of discussions, so I consider myself the one to put on the big red net right here where it says Muriel that I reached out to yesterday. I had to leave a voice message. You're not going back on my list this week. I did what I was supposed to do. I reached out. I'm not going to hunt you down. So that's my biggest thing, to reach out. There are a lot of reasons that I'm doing this. As far as my newly found family is concerned, and I'm talking about DNA family, I didn't know that I had siblings until 2017. But my one brother I've never met, the brother that was interested in meeting me, passed away before we could meet. My sister just passed a little more than a year ago, and she lived closer to me. And my brother, the one that I have met and talked to the most, acts like I don't exist. When I talk to my nephew, my brother's son, the first thing he asked me is, Auntie, well, have you reached out to him? And I'm like, I'm not going to keep putting myself out there like that. And then I get off the phone and I think about it. And I'm like, I know he's older, but maybe I need to retain my spot as the bigger person. Because in the end, that's what makes me feel good. I have to sleep with me. I have to sleep with my conscience, sorry. And I want that cleared. I don't want to toss and turn and incorporate what I didn't do or any negative feelings into the dream for that night. So I wear those bigger person pants, and I reach out. I intend to put my brother on the list for next week. Yeah, I intend to put my brother on the list for next week. My daughter is going to be upset with me because her answer is F them. They don't think about you. Forget them. And very much sometimes I want to be that person, but it's not a part of me to be that person. So I have to stay true to who I am. So I think ultimately what I'm saying in that is be true to who you are. If you have to force yourself to be the bigger person, that's not cool either, because that's not being true to who you are. But I know. Let me skip back to Krabby Krabby. Let me see where Krabby will be on this list. Krabby would definitely be probably around somewhere between 3 and 4. 4 is spacey. That's where my mind, my thoughts, and when I'm in one of those spiraling modes, to try to hold a conversation with me is not advisable. And number 3 is the sparsity in audio, which means I'm really not talking to people. I'm more talking at people. That's when I'm snappy. So I would say that's probably the Krabby. But my health meter, let me tell you about my crap. I know, but you're going to be okay, just like I told you. Number one, BB, number one is when I'm checked all the way out. That's when I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want you to knock on my door. Don't bother me asking me if I want to eat, because I don't. I don't want to see people. I will not open my curtains. I will not turn on the light. The TV is off. I am here with just the hum of my fan, and I want to be left completely alone. I will turn my phone off. I will. And if they knock on my door too many times, because usually around here, when they knock on the door, they're turning the knob to come in, I will lock the door and barricade it. I will. That scares the bejesus out of my daughter because of my health. And when I get like that, she will give me 4 hours. She will give me 4 hours to stay in that kind of mood. And after that, she's in here cutting the food. she gives me no choice but to laugh because she'll come in and do her crazy lady dance, which is like, and she just keeps she just keeps on doing that until I have no choice but to laugh at her. And it kind of, breaks whatever mood. But it's like, I'll give you 4 hours to work through whatever it is you got going on. And it's funny because she knows me so well. If she comes to the door and she has to knock, first of all, if she's knocking and I've locked the door and she can't come in, she will immediately go outside and check the windows. Because the first thing I do when I get up in the morning is open my curtains and my blinds. I have to have some sort of connection with the outdoors, and so that's the first thing she do. When she sees that they're not open, she knows there's a problem. And she'll tell the kids right then, look, leave grandma alone. And inevitably, when they think she's got her back turned, here they come. That's when I have to lock and barricade the door because my grandson knows how to unlock the doors. He would stick his nail in there and turn it and unlock the door and come in like it was never even closed. So, yes, you do have to love my daughter. But let me tell you how my health meter goes, guys. So, it's going to sound morbid in the beginning, but just bear with me for a moment. My health meter. Number 0 means I'm headed to the morgue. Number 1 means I'm on life support. Number 2, I'm in the hospital bedridden. Number 3, I'm on hospice. Number 4, I'm at home bedridden. Number 5, I'm sleeping a lot. Now, this is where we start getting more into me. I'm generally anywhere from 6 up to 10. I go down because I wrote from 0 to 10, but I'm generally somewhere in the 6 to 10 range. Sometimes you'll catch me in the 5. Below that, then I'm generally not in that area. So it took me a long time to come up with everything from 0 to 5. So number 6 is up, but not about. Been there a few times. Number 7 is moving with precise purpose. Been there a lot here lately. Number 8, some pain, but good. Number 9, less pain, but good. And number 10, I feel good. Yep. So to give you an update on the toe is amazing, guys. The toe is amazing. And what I find, and I'm so proud of myself and my daughter. First of all, my daughter made an antiseptic some time ago using 91% alcohol and pure avocado juice. She bought an avocado and juiced it. And she put those 2 things together. And that's what we use as an antiseptic. And I know that's when you see me as a 10, I'll be in here dancing and everything else. But I can't do it right now because of the toe. But every morning I get up after I do my stretches and stuff here lately. And like I said, like I've been down for 2 weeks. It's only been a few days. But we take the bandage off and we let it air out. And the only reason we're bandaging it now is because we don't want to get any injury while I'm sleeping. Of course, you don't know what you're doing while you're sleeping. So, but it looks really good. We keep it washed several times a day. They recommended the Epsom salt wash. My daughter has I don't know what you call that soap. It's the pure soap, but it's peppermint. And we use that along with the Epsom salt to, you tell all my secrets, don't you, Joan? This is why I love you. But we use the Epsom salt and the Castile. We use the Epsom salt and the peppermint Castile soap to keep it clean. And that washes away all the dead um, scab and all that good stuff I let her do it because I'm a picker. I'm a scab picking person. So I let her handle the toe. All I do is take the bandage off in the morning and put the bandage on at night when I get ready to go to bed. I spray it down real good with my avocado and alcohol. We just shake it up really good to get the avocado sediments blended in with the alcohol, and we spray it down real good. And I have it there so that several times throughout the day I can keep it sprayed down. And like I said, 3 times a day, we wash it really well and bandage it up at night before I go to bed. There is still no pain. I haven't had pain. The toenail and skin were removed on Monday. I had a lot of pain on Tuesday. I've had absolutely no pain since then. I get very nervous because the grandkids are not very careful around it, and they tend to bump into it a lot. But it doesn't cause any more bleeding. It doesn't cause any pain. So I'm doing good. I'm doing really, really, really good. And I'm happy with the success of it. And even, with all of that, I am still smoke free. I am still smoke free. Now, have I wanted a cigarette? Of course I have. Just told y'all I woke up stressed this morning. That's when I smoke, when I'm stressed. But yeah, it's so amazing to me that when we wash it and everything, the toenail is nice and shiny and it looks healthy. And um, he told me when he did it that there's a certain type of acid they put down in the hole on the nail. And okay, yay for me not smoking. All right, don't expect it to last, guys. I'm just telling you, but we're going to celebrate each day that I'm smoke free. Okay, I get that. But the acid that he put in there was designed to kill the nail. And he said that I was going to see some really dark red around the cuticle of the nail. But if it got past the joint, for me to come back, I haven't had any of that red, guys. I'm sorry, kittens. I haven't had any of that red at all. I haven't. And it's like now, I reach down and I touch it. And I didn't realize that the toe was swollen until yesterday. There was absolutely no swelling at all. And I was like, you know what? I didn't know my big toe was that little. I really didn't. My daughter was like, yeah, Mom, the swelling has gone down a lot. And then I looked at it compared to the other two, and I'm like, I have equal big toes now. Joe got on me for calling you all guys. I apologize. You all are my kittens. That's right. I'm Mama Cougar. Okay, so the setup for the week. Oh, I told you about the 300 projects that I have that are in here and how I'm pulling. I start out pulling 2 at a time. What I think I'm going to do today before I pull anything else is at least get the market bag and the blanket off the table. And knowing that the sweater is one of those pull-in items and it's not in the bag, I want to at least get started on the snood. And I'm not going to start the snood until I get these 2 items completed, meaning the market bag and the little lap blanket. Now, once I get those done, I'll start on the snood and then I'll pick 2 new projects. Let me see. Now, my goal for 2026 is to complete at least 180 of those items. BB, I'm so glad you asked about the purple sweater because Joan is going to be so mad at me, but so proud of me at the same time. The purple sweater has been complete. I showed it to Joan. I don't think I showed it to everybody, and maybe I did. I don't know, but it was all I needed. When I kept showing it was the facing and the neck done. And I got that done in no time. And I even wore it a couple of times. I wore it a couple of times and got a lot of compliments on it. And then I gifted it. Y'all, this is why I can never have anything for me. This is why I can never have anything for me. I gave it to my oldest daughter. I did. As soon as she took it out of the house, she was like, um, I already know who, I mean, what I'm going to wear with it. I'm going to wear my black pants. I'm going to wear the black top that's got the purple in it. I'm going to wear my purple shoes. I'm going to have my purple bag. I did. I did not frog it. I did not frog it. I gifted it. I gave it to Nikki. So one of the things I told her, since she's not, no, I'm not making another one right now. I'm not. I'm not making another one right now. I'm not, because I became very emotionally attached to that, and I I put that aside to make the panel cardigan, the Just For Me cardigan, and I really became attached to that one. And and see, I don't know, to give them up. It felt good to give them up. Don't get me wrong. It really felt good to give them up. But then, when you walk away from that situation, you walk away like a kid, and you like, I can't have nothing to myself. I'm a big kid. I don't want to grow up. So yeah, that's where we are with the sweaters. I'm not going to start another one soon, even though I'm going to try to do this and not drop the camera. If you remember, I forgot where I put the other one. I was gifted. I have two of these and one of these. I was gifted these for my birthday by Lori of Lori Stories and Crochets. And I'm making myself a Ruan with this, or a Ruan or Ruana, however you want to say it. That's what I'm making myself with it. I'm afraid to make it because I don't think I want to give it up once I make it. And I'm going to post a picture that I found recently that I thought I had lost, a little short video. I'm going to post that in the community, on my community page. And I'm going to post them on my community page, the video, so that you can see the other, I guess it's called a Ruana that I made. And um, I absolutely love that. I made that for someone from beginning to end. I did. I made that from beginning to end for someone, but I modeled it so that I know, but I love that Ruan. It took a lot more. Anyway, y'all will see it. Y'all will definitely see it. We're not going to do that to me. I'm not going to do that to me. So when I made out my list, part of the plan with this 300 projects was that I would get 60% done. And I aimed so high so that I would stay motivated. I did not want to set a low ball amount, get it done, and be bored. And there was also the fact of not overstimulating myself as well. And what I do is draw to, and I keep replenishing as I complete items. Well, there was no intention when it was sent to me. It was just sent to me because they knew that my favorite color was purple. And yeah, I just thought a nice Ruana would be really, really nice. Um, there's another color, of course, I want to add to it so that I can make it a little wider. So yeah, I'm still working with that. Um, Conceptual and visual ideas for the channel. What's coming up? I want to create a make board like I have here on the paper. I want to put a board up so that it can be seen. And, there'll be gold would be pretty. Oh my God, gold would be so pretty. But I was thinking of gold would be so pretty though. I was thinking of a soft cream. I was, because I told myself if I ever got married again, I wanted my colors to be purple and cream. But gold would really be a pretty color. It really would. Okay, so a make board, excuse me. And the make board would kind of be like a vision board, but the difference is every time I would pull the two, I would put what I was actually doing on one side, what I pulled, and then how much was actually getting done, so that I would have a running list of things that I completed that would be here to show instead of me having to pull out the paper all the time. Weekly calendar. Okay, this is our proposed weekly calendar. Tomorrow, look for the explanation to the blanket channel video to drop. It's already in queue and set to drop. Sunday, you will always also get your word of the week, and you will get your video start of the week. All of these are already done and ready to be sent out. Monday, you'll get your ASL phrase of the week. You will also get the first square of the square blanket challenge. On Tuesday, you'll get square number 2, and you will get your ASL word of the day, and we go live on Tuesday at 12 o'clock. That's our W day. I was thinking you are a queen and go, oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, sis. Thank you. On Wednesday, you would get square number 3 and square number 4. You get square number 3 and 4 on Wednesday. Thursday is live, our curiosities. On Friday, I'll be recording all day. Saturday, we will be right back here. We will be right back here getting everything set up for the following week. Also, Taco Tuesday, when you look in the description box, you should see 4 creators down there. First of all, those 4 creators will always be there. And Joan, my sister, yes. BB, being that you're here and you're regular and you're showing up, yes. So that half dozen people right there, those my little inner circle folks, and I'm so proud of y'all and so happy that you're here. But those 4 listed below did a lot to help me as far as setting, doctoring, and advancing my channel so that it can grow. And I'm very appreciative to each one of them for everything that they did. As far as keeping me motivated, I have always wanted to be a person to test patterns. Lori, she's one of the ones listed below too, y'all. But Lori taught me how to put pictures and inserts and things in my videos. Always wanted to do that, and she has helped me do that a lot, and I appreciate her for that. But also, I had always wanted to be one to test patterns. And it was such an honor when Marsha came to me and was able to verbally give me a pattern and for me to go about and do that for her. And it really made me feel good that she had enough confidence in me to ask me to do that. Um, and then the fact that she's blind, and like I said, her trusting that I knew enough that she would be able to tell me and I'd be able to bring to fruition what she said. So she's listed below as well. And like I said, in teaching me little quirks and things that I needed to do, Lori is right down there, the person who taught me all about Canva, who introduced me to Canva and got me on the right track as far as making screen cards and things, Michelle. And the person who, and I don't even think he knows it, but kept me motivated to the point that I wanted to continue because, guys, this is not easy. I look at people that say it's as simple as putting a camera in front of you and just doing it. And that might work for this video. Then what do you do the next video? And the video after that? And the video after that? And the video after that? It's not as simple as just turning on the camera and letting it roll. For some people, it may work that way, but it doesn't work that way for me, and it doesn't work that way for a lot of people. It's a lot of work involved. There is a lot involved in the editing process. And I think that's what deterred me the most in the very beginning, because I knew nothing. I knew nothing about editing. I was able to catch a live on one of the channels you recommended, Linda. Yes, yes. Linda is very, very good. I enjoy being on Linda's channel. I enjoy listening to her sing. She has an absolutely beautiful voice. And to watch her knit, I get lost watching her knit. And to hear those needles just clink, 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 clink between her and Juan. That is the reason I went out and got these circular needles. Don't know what the I'm doing. Y'all, I have cast it off and destroyed. I have cast it off and tinked so many times. I have, I'm sorry, cast it on. I have cast it on and tinked so many times. I don't know how to cast off. I think I do. I just have to build my confidence to do it. Excuse me. Yes, YouTube is very any means of recording and putting yourself out there in this social media world is a job. I used to do back in the day under another channel a lot of Instagram videos. Did a bunch of them. But even still, the setup, the recording, the making sure you have it just right, the number of times you had to delete all of your work and go back and start all over again just so that you have something that is, you want to get a lot of hearts for, or you want to get follows and those types of things. To look, yeah, that's something she does too. I think that was the first thing that made me go back a second time, when she looked for Virginia on her map and found it. And she was so excited. I was like, wow, somebody's excited about this little space that I live in. Because I can't, if I had my choice, I wouldn't be in Virginia. I'd go back home to North Carolina, y'all. Yes, I would. And I'd be so happy there. Oh, living in Virginia is just as much of a job as it is being a YouTube content creator. Oh, yes, yes, yes. This is It's fun, don't get me wrong, and it's fun for people like me because um, most of the time I'm alone. So it's like talking to a friend, to get on the camera and just talk. I've gotten away from that part of it, and I really want to get back to that, where I just, made the videos themselves and put them out. I've concentrated more on the lives here lately. Um, I love the interaction. It's not like, making the video and you're pretending that another person is there in the lives. Other people are actually there. And it feels good to have them there. So, yes, know that even though it's as simple as turning on that camera and recording, it's what you want to do after turning on that camera and recording. Once you get it uploaded, is this going to be your only one, or is there going to be another one? How often are you going to do this? And, what is your content going to be like? Those types of things. So, yeah. Now, back to one of my favorite subjects, Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday is back, guys. Yes, it is. You will see Juan the Yarn Addict listed below. Please go check out his channel. And under his page, when you go to his community post, or you can check out the Taco Tuesday video and find out what the challenges were for this week. It is now a 2-week challenge type thing because every other week he talks stitches. That is a very good segment too. I promised y'all I wouldn't do that, and I did it anyway. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. That's because I was trying to close the door. I'm sorry. I love North Carolina, but okay, back to Taco Tuesday. I do have Juan's page listed below. Like I said, go check out his page and you can check out the Taco Tuesday video. I'm sorry, Anita. I'm so sorry. Welcome in. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. Now, Taco Tuesday is in season 5. They have a season long challenge. This challenge is called Scrap and Stash. And what it is every 2 weeks, you will make a make using scraps and your stash or your stash. And what I am making, I showed this to you before, because I was making this anyway, and then I frogged it. And just as Taco Tuesday started, I started this, but this is actually double dipping. Y'all forgive me for 1 second. Come here. I have grandbabies.
Yes.
Hi, Sunita. Why the doors? I am on my live. Why the doors?
Sorry about that. If that won't happen.
You can excuse yourself and leave my door open because we don't know how to behave with my door closed. Leave my door open. Excuse yourselves.
It's because
Excuse yourself. You had time to answer. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes I have to be grandma. So, like I said, I started making this Taco Tuesday, and I'm actually double dipping. I'll explain it when we get to that one, but this is busting my scraps. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is 11 of the 15 colors. Yeah. Because that's 12, 13, 14, 15. And those are the others. So it's basically green. This is going to be the last green that I put on it. It is different. They look very close, but they are different. So that is the season long challenge. The first challenge that was chosen, and that's the other thing. For this one, you only get, that is the moss stitch. Yes, that is the moss stitch. Um, the first, you only get two challenges plus the season long challenge. So there are three challenges that you have for each one, and you have 2 weeks to complete them instead of one. So you're not rushing and you still have time to do other things that you're doing. So the first challenge that was chosen from the wheel, and yes, we're using the wheel, is called Color Salsa. And what that is, you pick 2 or 3 base colors, this being my first base color, this green being my second, and of course, soft white being my third. I had to look at it. I'm like, wait a minute, what is it now? And then each day, 13 days, you select another color. Well, because I'm putting mine in a blanket like this, what I did was went ahead on and picked my other colors, and I'm adding them in as I go. But I'm giving myself the 2 weeks to work on this so that I'm not overwhelming myself. And I know that that means that I have to do, I think it was like 7 to 8 rows a day. So I know that I'm further along than what it says I should be, because I'm like about a quarter of the way there. So I'm doing really good with this one. I think the next color to be added is going to be the gold. Okay. We're going to add the gold, and then we're going to go to the soft white, and then we're going to reverse these colors down, and then we'll end up with the green at the top. So that's how that's going to work. And then the other challenge is called the mystery taco. Now, you all have had an advantage. You all had an advantage over everybody else, because what the mystery taco is, you take pictures of your project as you go along. And the first picture that I posted was a very small portion of this. See if I can show you about how much it was, about that much of it. And then the second one was just as I started building a side. So you all see that it's a small market bag, but we haven't gotten to that point as far as posting pictures. So if you all are in Juan, the Yarn Addict, and Friends, you can't give the answer away. You all have an advantage because you're here, but when I post the pictures, you can't tell it. Let them guess. One person, what did she say? I think she said a beanie. Bless her. And I was like, good try, but no. And it's a lot of fun, to look at these things and try to figure out from different angles, what can this be? What is this? And to see how vast our minds are, or what we see differently from somebody else, because another person will look at it and say, oh, a blanket, or no, a shawl. No, so it's, I saw one that looked like it was all single crochet. And my immediate thought was that it was amigurumi. And I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't amigurumi. And I was like, wow, it so much looked like it. But yeah, so like I said, please check out Taco Tuesday. It keeps you from getting what I call Krog Frog, which is Crow Fog. But it keeps you from getting Crojo, Krog Fog, Um, Disgusted gives you something to keep working on every now and then so that you're not overwhelmed. Check it out. Check it out. Let's see what else I have here. I have Snatch and Stitch and Swatch a lot. Please don't ask me where I was going with those two things. It'll come to me at another time, and I'll try to expound on it a little more because right now, uh, Squirrel has jumped in the little nest up here. Yeah, the squirrel is definitely here. Now, to go back to speak on it, I said always remember safety first. I know that's how I wanted to close out to remind you guys in whatever you do, in every goal that you set out to accomplish, remember to guard your safety. I'm not doing Taco Tuesday because I crochet way too slow, but I'm doing Granny Square Stitches Carter. Cool. Cool. Anything to keep the creative juices flowing. That's, I think that's the main purpose behind it. And we being creatives don't need to stay stagnant. We don't need to stay stagnant. So like I said, anything that's going to help you keep those creative juices flowing, go for it. Tying in with what I just said, in whatever you do, always always remember safety first. No more flying episodes, sis. No more flying episodes. No more flying episodes. Exactly. Exactly. So, guys, I am going to close this out. I want you all to remember that you are beautiful, not just because I told you you are, but because you really, really are. I want you to look in that mirror and I want you, oh, we're not even going to tell you about the flying episodes. I will put it to you like this. Me be. Um, Ladders are meant to climb up and down. Yeah, ladders are meant to climb up and down. Now, I laughed because flying episodes on my end involve grandkids that think they are superheroes and they stand at the top of stairs and they fly down the stairs like Batman. That's what makes me laugh. When I think flying episode, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Scared the bejesus out of me when it happened. But yes, yes, but yes. As far as my dear sister Joan, ladders are meant to climb and to climb down. No wings involved. Right. Guys, I love you all. And like I said, you're beautiful, not just because I said you are, but because you are. Look in that mirror and reward yourself on how beautiful you are with or without makeup. It's more than just that skin on the outside, it's the beautiful person within. Keep that in mind in everything that you do. And know that I love you. So until we see each other again on these YouTube streets, guys, peace out, everybody. And I'll try not to go on a trip next time.